everybody will be following one kind of teaching pattern, right? Like their style of articulating the things, or their style of conveying the things what they know, or like how the way one can convey it depends from person to person kind of thing, from one instructor to another instructor. So just I will just brief you on the few of the things, like on the TOCs what we'll be covering in this particular training. So coming to that one, so it's more, it's a weekend batches, that is like Saturday and Sunday. So morning 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock it will be there, like morning 9 a.m. to 12. Okay, 3 hours a day. So Saturday and Sunday are the course timings. Okay, so uh, 2 weekends, I mean Saturday and Sunday. So within 2 to 3 months we can complete this particular course. Okay, so roughly speaking, like it will be coming the course content, I mean the course duration. Okay, it will be coming around 55 plus of hours. Okay, minimum it will be 55 plus, and if the situations demand, okay, if the based on the interaction and the based on the questionnaires what I am getting from the participants, if it is required, I don't have any like hard and fast rule that I should be freezing the things at the 55 hours kind of thing. Even if it is going till 65 hours, 70 hours also, I will not hesitate to do that thing. The ultimate thing one should get out of this particular training is something they should be carrying away their skill. Okay, they should, the skill should be getting elevated to at least few levels up, so that they can maybe they can make effective utilization in their projects, or if they are trying to like switch to the companies, or they if they are trying to look for the further, I mean better roles and the opportunities that should be helping them. Okay, that's the motto. So the how much the participants interacts with me, how much the things they are asking over from me, I mean extracting from me, that is also a dependent factor. Okay, so but I can say minimum within 55 hours, within less than 55 hours I can't complete the course, so it will be 55 hours plus only. Okay, so based on the necessity, it may be going till 65 hours also, so I don't have any like obligation to stop myself at the 55 hours. Okay, if required, definitely I will moving to a point called 65 hours. Okay, 65 or 70 hours. So just I'm giving a brief on that thing. So maximum within 3 months we'll be completing the course, that's a maximum time. Okay, maximum time I'm saying. Okay, if it is required on any day, like we'll be extending like half an hour based on the topics kind of. If we can't hold the topic, okay, so you as you both into the SAP stream, like this SAP stream itself. Okay, okay, you might be knowing, okay, for example we are working on this some BRF plus workflow or something. Okay, so I can't park it at one particular position and go and start the things on the next week or the next day kind of thing. So in such cases we'll be extending little bit flexible over there. Okay, 30 minutes here and there. Okay, about myself, just I brief about myself, right? In the previous one, previous, I mean, just before presenting the thing. So I'm having total of 15 plus of industry experience. So my technical expertises, I can say SAP MDG. It's comprises like around 10 years into SAP MDG. Before that, I'm into the SAP ABAP S4. Like I worked on ABAP implementations, S4 implementations, Suit on HANA implementations also. So apart from this, like I working one of the corporates and or one of the product based companies. Okay, so my out of my own passion, just I like mentoring somebody who is want to upskill or something like to the MDG area, or earlier I used to do it in the ABAP ground. Okay, so whoever want to like have seeking some mentorship or the guidance, I like to do that thing. It's completely out of my passion kind of thing. So which is on weekends I will be having that time to do like establish my passion kind of thing. So not only to this one, like in if at all if I'm getting a free time, I used to do corporate trainings also for the few of the reputed clients like IBM, Wipro, Capgemini. So, and what I can be covering in this particular thing, let me go to the next slide. Okay, so I want to talk about the table of contents. Okay, so table of contents will be the teaching pattern will be going something like a real real time project related scenarios and experiences whenever I'm teaching. Okay, whenever I'm explaining something, some topic. Okay, so I will be like clubbing it with the real time project scenarios. It's not like something on the PPT itself. My teaching pattern will be going like covering three areas. One is PPT, one is whiteboard approach, that is like Miro boards or something I will be using that. Okay, where it will be going some flow kind of approach and all those things. Another way is going into the system and demonstrating other things. things. It's not just the PPT based kind of thing. It will be a mixture of everything. Okay, so whenever it is required to go onto the whiteboard, I will be going. Whenever it is required to go onto the system and demonstrate on something or show something over there, it will be going that way. And the teaching patterns, okay, another kind of my teaching pattern is something will be like a storytelling. If at all, I will tell you something. Okay, so just I'm giving some example to get the view for you to understand all the things. Okay, so in SAP basically we will be dealing with so many different kinds of data, right? So for example, like we will be dealing with the reference data, master data, transactional data. So these are the different kinds of data we'll be dealing, assume that. Okay, so in order to explain about this one, okay, what is a master data, what is a transaction data, or what is a reference data, how the example I will be going on with, to explain the master data and the transactional data. So imagine that you are having one owning some retail outlet or the restaurant chain kind of thing. Okay, so whenever the customer comes to you or visits your restaurant, you will be making some entry for them, like, okay, these are the customers, like membership kind of thing or something they will be asking you. So you'll be making an entry into your database. It can be Excel or whatever it is. Like database means some record of proof that this customer, okay, this is the identity of this particular customer. Okay, you will be gathering some information to send some notifications to them or to curate the best things to them. Okay, so that you will be maintaining in what particular sheet kind of thing. Let's assume that one Excel sheet you will be maintaining all the customer details who are visiting your particular restaurant. Okay, so in another table, another sheet, you will be maintaining something like how every time that customer comes over there to your restaurant, if it is repeating and all those things, you'll be maintaining the transactions. Okay, that so and so customer, okay, Kumar visited this restaurant, okay, on so and so date. Okay, and this is the invoice amount or the bill amount that is made by this particular person. And there will be another sheet you will be maintaining what are the items ordered by this particular person when he visits. So why we need this kind of information? In order to give some loyalty program or the privileged customer program kind of thing, you want to maintain that. So now my explanation, okay, out of these three tables, the first table where we are making an entry for the customer, that is what we will be calling as a master data. So Kumar, even if he is visiting the 10 times to your restaurant, that doesn't mean like 10 different Kumars is visiting, right? So it's one person making an 10 times entry to your restaurant to have the food. Okay, so the first sheet what you are maintaining the Excel, that is called as a master data, where we'll be having the unique reference of this particular Kumar over there. Whereas the second Excel sheet, what you are having where how much transaction he made, like what are the things he ordered whenever he visits, okay, that is the transactional data. So what is the reference between these two sheets kind of thing? Customer, the ID. If at all, if Kumar is being assigned with some ID row, the row number kind of thing, or ID something like that, is the reference things between these two Excel sheets. Okay, so now you got the things right. Like if at all, if I need to explain something, okay, where I can go with the storytelling kind of thing in order to distinguish, okay, what is master data, what is transaction data. This is the examples, this kind of examples I will be taking it up. So to for the understanding purpose, just I gone with some this kind of example. Okay, for this particular small topic I brought up the small topic. Okay, if at all, if I need to explain about the reference data or the OR data, I'll be taking like I will be elaborating this example into multiple things. Okay, that means if you're not owning just owning one restaurant, you're owning a restaurant chain kind of thing. So I'll be elaborating that things. For every restaurant chain, every locality, you are having one branch, you will be giving the identifying one particular code. So that will be called as a reference data. You can mention it as a plant or some like area code or something. So this is how I will be elaborating the examples, the storytelling or approaching of that particular topic, so that one will be getting that impression in their mind. Okay, just not just by going with the definitions or something, they should be having some meaningful understanding out of that, so they should be relating to their real life. This is my style of approaching to the saying, I mean delivering the topics or any of the concepts. Okay, just before going further, okay, just I want to ask, okay, whether I am going little bit in a fast manner over here or not. Is it fine? Is it understandable? Do you need to speak a little bit louder or something? Please, can you input on that?
It's fine, Kumar.
Okay, so
Yes,
just
it's
I
fine.
perfect, perfect.
It
Thanks for
is little bit
confirming that.
fast.
A little bit fast. Oh, okay, okay, got it. Like I might be thinking that I need to cover a little bit of things in 1 hour, kind of thing. Not an issue on that thing, but definitely it will be not be at that hurry, kind of thing. When we are actually going into the sessions, it will be going on a better pace only. Definitely, I'm open for the feedbacks and taking the feedbacks also. So that is good thing. But you got the context, right? That how I will be conveying the topics or the theory part by relating to our real life examples, kind of thing. So just to portray some example, just I mentioned that thing. So what we'll be covering over here is the first, we'll be starting with the induction. Induction means getting to know about the participant. Okay, if at all if you are joining, okay, so I want to know about your, like, what your expectation out of this particular training. Whether right now I asked you, right, so whether where you want to see, basically you mentioned like Arish mentioned like I want to see myself as a techno functional kind of thing. And Srujana mentioned that she want to go into the technical domain, technical space of the SAP MDG, because she is good at functional. Now she want to emerge into a technical space. So I need to know the the intention where the participants are looking into and all those things, so that I can suggest something on this one. For example, okay, if Shrujana mentioned that she want to learn the technical stuff and go into the technical SAP MDG techno functional, like complete technically she want to elevate her profile little bit more compared to the functional, because she is good at functional. So definitely I can curate something to her, like for example, okay, coming to the ABAP, okay, what are the primary concepts, okay, that is essential for the SAP MDG, that will be covered over here. So ABAP is something like a big ocean kind of thing, one knows that. Okay, ABAP itself, in order to cover the entire ABAP technical stuff, okay, end to end, whether it's a necessary for MDG or not. If at all if you're thinking, okay, we need to cover the entire ABAP, it will be taking like 70 hours or 80 hours kind of thing. But we don't require all the ABAP, all the technical stuff into our MDG. Only few topics which needs to be curated, okay, where we need to divert our focus, that are required for the MDG. So what I can do, if one is interested, oh, see, you can explore this particular concept, okay, I can provide some materials along with the things, essential things which I will be going on the session. Apart from that, I can add some additional touch to the things, okay, if they are exploring on their own also, little bit going in depth kind of thing. So that is the thing I can do. What are the essentials that are required for the SAP MDG, that I will be covering in the training as a part of training. Okay, so for that I need to know the participants expectation. So that's I will be covering in the induction. If at all if I go get to know like something like before starting the session, well and fine, I will make a note of that thing. And introduction to SAP, what is an SAP, what is SAP platform is about, how it eases the business, okay, in order to run any of the enterprise, how SAP brings the value to the business. I will be speaking on that thing. Introduction to SAP MDG. So I'll be touching, okay, like what is a master data, what is a master data management, what is a governance, what are the challenges that comes up like when we are dealing with the master data in any of the enterprise or the organization. That all stuff I will be covering over here. And I'll be going with the next chapter. Next chapter will be references for core technical consultants or the functional consultants. Okay, somebody, if some person, okay, coming from the completely technical background, okay, they are a vapor and they want to learn the MDG techno functional. So they need to understand little bit of the domain related areas, right? If at all if they are new, if they are never worked on the material master, okay, material management, so they need to at least in a situation to understand, okay, what is a material type, this kind of stuff they need to understand all the things, right, in order to explain all the things. So that is that basic kind of domain knowledge. For that I will be providing little bit of references. And for the same vice versa, okay, somebody from the functional background, functional consultants coming for the training, techno functional training, so I will be providing some references on the above, which should be done some self exploration, some references, and what are the essentials that are part of the SAP MDG, that will be covered in the training. Post that, MDG architecture, what is the architecture for the MDG, so where are various deployment options and all those things. Okay, let me go like this. Okay, so we will be discussing about the architectural principles, what is a governance or deployment options, okay, business processes in MDG, and how we will be curating for the different master data. And the next one, we'll be dealing about the versions and the configurations. Okay, versions means under on top of what S4 version, how MDG version will be sitting, what are the prerequisites, and what we need to do in order to activate the MDG box in any of the S4 or the ECC system. We should be going some BC sets configuration and all those things, right? So we need to know, okay, what we need to do. So coming to the things, okay, from the seventh point onwards, we'll be starting on the data modeling. Okay, so data modeling, understanding of the data model, in-depth understanding and each and every concept of the data model. It can be right starting from the entities, attributes, relationships, storage types, hierarchies, and what are the configuration activities. If at all, if some requirement comes up, okay, if any business requirement comes up to us, we need to add some custom attribute or the custom entity to a standard data model. So what are the things we need to do over there? What should be taken care over there? We should be taking all those into consideration. I'll be discussing each and every navigation path inside the data model, which is really essential and we should be taken into consideration in order to understand the MDG concepts. It can be internal number assignment or generation of the data model specific structure. What is SMT mapping? What is a business object? What are the configuration activities we need to take care before starting on the things. So what are the cautions, how we should be very careful whenever we are dealing with the data model, enhancing of the data model, all those things will be covered. So but this particular chapter will be covering more on the understanding of the data model. I'll be taking some examples kind of thing, like if at all, if there is a material data model. Okay, in data model I'll be taking few of the concepts, means material, plant, storage location. How somebody, how the thought process went into that one while designing the data model, while designing the relationships over there. After explaining the theoretical part, we should be having some meaningful understanding on the things, right? Then only we can get it like, oh, this is the reason we had gone with this kind of relationship. So for in order to understand that, we need to know like how material is linked with the plant, or how plant is linked with the storage location, how these things are linked with the warehouse. So we need to understand little bit of domain also over there. Then only we can say, oh, okay, this is the reason there is some this kind of particular relationship established between these two entities or something. So I need to have that kind of curated examples in order to understand the relations. It's not just the theoretical part, it will be going little bit system, whiteboard, PPT approach kind of things. UI modeling. So all the in UI modeling, introduction, what is a floor plan manager, what we need to do, and how it will be, we will be taking that advantage in meeting the business needs. If some business is saying, okay, I want this kind of UI, okay, so how will be enhancing that thing? What are the different enhancement techniques? How will be hiding the views? All those things. It's not just about the standard. I will be covering, this is UI extensibility, that is customizing, enhancements, context based adaptations and deep copies, what we'll be doing. Okay, so most of the things will be configurable only, but in case, okay, if at all, if we need to build some custom UIBBs, we should be having little bit of touch. Okay, touch means what is the template we need to use for copying the standard template into the custom template. So we need to, I will go over there, I will try to create some custom templates, custom UIBBs, and how we will be integrating to the standard UI model, and all those things we'll be discussing. So it's not just the standard, I can say it's about the custom related things also, custom or the enhancing parts also. And process modeling. Okay, process modeling intro, defining governance scope, edition types, what are the edition types and all those things when we are discussing on the modes. Okay, in data model we'll be discussing on the flex and the reuse mode. So in flex and reuse mode, like in flex models, we'll be using the edition concept, okay, for the replication of the active data and all those things. Okay, self replication, it can be self replication in case of like code deployment, or the replication to the target system in case of hub. So what are the edition types, how we'll be creating, what are the business activities, and coming to the change request. Okay, so in change request we'll be seeing a lot of stuffs over there, statuses, change request properties, defining the step. I mean, each step will be defining some configurable properties, how the UI should be behaving, what are the entities that should be in scope. Okay, priorities, reasons, rejections, these all things are there, whatever you are seeing on the UI. the control and configuration mechanism, what is the underlying funda for this one, and all those things we'll be discussing. And this, the previous one is the process modeling. I mean, it's a continuation of that one. So after getting to know about all the things, it's something like a demonstration kind of thing. So we'll be taking like different business scenarios. Okay, we'll be having the parallel change request, under which circumstances we need to use the parallel change request. Okay, if we are having a cr baddie for field properties, okay, when we need to use, when we can't achieve through configuration, so at that time we need to go with the baddies, right? Configurations things we will be using, having some limitations. What are those limitations, under which circumstances we need to go to baddie? So these differences I will be stating the facts over there. So whether it's a who had experience on the functional or the technical, they should be getting the idea. Okay, what are the capabilities of technical, and what are the capabilities of the functional, where we need to go offer what kind of solution, whether we need to offer the configuration kind of solution, or we should be going for the technical way of solution. We should be knowing the difference, then only we can suggest to a business. Okay, oh, if some business is asking some, saying some requirement, okay, we should be in a situation to imagine. Okay, even though we may not be doing all the things on the go, but we should be having that image in our mind. Okay, these are the capabilities, these are the limitations we are having. So this can be achieved, this can't be achieved. Because if at all, when discussing on the requirements or something, if we are having that clarity, what happens in that case, we'll be suggesting them a alternate kind of approaches kind of thing. So that is very essential in consulting experience. It's not just about reading some business requirement and converting into the meaningful configuration or the technical technicalities, or logically building something, not like that. It's all about the convincing the business also, what is right, what is not. They need to obey something. If at all, I will tell you some small example. Okay, so if business mostly who are migrating to the SAP MDG from the older versions of S4 or the ECC, what happens? What happens? They will be used to a process like, if they want to create some material, they will be going to mm01 and trying to create a material. It will be going as soon as they save, and if there are no errors, it will be changes will be reflected, and they will be using that material for the transactional purposes. But with the introduction to MDG, what happens, we will be stipulating the processes over there, right? In the CR process, we will be saying like, okay, requester comes and creates some material. It needs to go to one set of approvers or the enrichers in the workflow. Okay, so usually business, what business say? See, in current system, I'm going to MM01 and creating a material. That's it. Or if at all, if I want to change any of the material, I'm going to mm02 transaction, I'm making a change, that's it, done. So I want the similar kind of process in MDG. If that's coming with this kind of thing, what we need to do as a MDG consultant, please stop over there. So we should not be going that kind of approach, as we are introducing the new process into our system, that is master data governance. So master data governance always respect the rule of 4I principle. That means there should be two processes in any two steps in any of the process. If you are trying to create or change any material, apart from the requester who is initiating a request, there should be one more person present in a workflow to take a decision, to approve or reject, to enrich or to send for revision. There should be some action performed by another person also. So that is the MDG 4I principle. We should be conveying to them. Technically speaking, if they are saying without any approval process, as soon as the requester submits that, it needs to get activated, that is achievable. But is it recommended? No, it's not recommended, because SAP always should, the MDG always should respect the 4I principle. So you might be having such kind of process in the existing systems, but going forward we should adapt to this kind of process. So we should be asking them the right questions. We should be asking them, okay, you are trying to create a material using mm01 transaction, well and fine, but are you taking any, seeking any approvals from the your supervisor or the data owners or somebody, like, before proceeding for the creation? If they are saying yes, we are taking the process offline, we are sending it through some forms, or we are getting it to approvals through the mails. If they are saying something, exactly, so whoever you are sending for the approval, let's introduce that particular team into this particular workflow, so everything should be streamlined. everything should be in the particular process. So we should be we should be capable in in a situation to convey this to the business. So in order to convey this, we need to have the enough technical and the functional knowledge in our mind while we are discussing about any of the requirement. That's my intention is. Okay, so we need to know technical capabilities as well as the functional capabilities, then only we can suggest some best suited tailored solution to any business. Okay, coming back to the things, coming back to this slide. Okay, so see a workflow intro. So what are the different steps we need to do in creation of the workflows? And we'll be discussing on the static workflow, rule based workflow. In rule based workflow, we'll be talking about the, so something like we'll be going into the system and demonstrating the things, right? So we'll be talking about the parallel workflows, follow up CRs, email notification, this kind of things. Okay, so what we need to do, how we need to implement a baddies for this particular things. Okay, in order to dynamic agent baddie for CR routing. If at all, if we need to use this one, what is the criteria under which circumstances we'll be getting this kind of requirement? Okay, if we got a requirement, what we need to do in to achieve this one? Which baddie we need to implement? What we need to take care while implementing a baddie? These all things we'll be discussing. Data quality search and duplicate checks. Okay, so here we'll be talking about the what are the search mechanisms available in the systems, how to configure them, what are the search views. Okay, what is the match profile, what is the duplicate check, how we'll be configuring it, and how we will be enabling in the UI. These all things we'll be talking about. And coming to the business rules, we'll be talking about the BRF plus validations and derivations, baddie based validations and derivations, and DQM based business rules. And another topic that we'll be talking about is the enrichment. Also enrichment also comes under the data quality and searches. Okay, let me come back to the main TOC. Okay, so post this one, what we'll be talking more, we'll be discussing on the best practices and the case studies. So this best practices and case studies, it's an ongoing activity kind of thing. So it's not something like we'll be getting it up at the end kind of thing and all those things. Not like that. Okay, so it's an ongoing activity kind of. When we are discussing about the process modeling, we'll be discussing on the best practices also. We'll be discussing on the case studies also. Just now I mentioned one of the 4I principle, right? How I brought it up. That's a business case study itself. Business will be asking this kind of questions and will be curating them to use. So that's a case study kind of thing. It will be coming in that manner. It's not like something we'll be covering entire things and we'll be just talking about the case studies. Okay, in this particular chapter we had done this kind of operation, so this is a case study. Not like that. It should be ongoing activity. Okay, and project implementations and the hands-on exercises. So I will be providing the quizzes as well as the hands-on scenarios, so which you need to practice post sessions. Okay, this is on these two parts. Okay, now let me come back to this one, APIs in MDG. So how we will be leveraging the APIs. Okay, so if at all, if we need to work on the ABAP, okay, in the runtime we need to using the APIs concepts. Okay, if at all, if we want to like retrieve some data, okay, on CR level. Okay, so there is a CR API. Okay, so we need to make leverage the benefits of that particular API, that classes and the interface, to write our code. So like that, there are different types of APIs in MDG where the entire framework is will be covered out of that thing. So we'll be discussing on that thing. Practically, we'll be going and checking few of the cases also, where we'll be going and checking on the cases. Few things will be covered when we are talking about the process modeling, that is dynamic agent, and few things will be covered when we are talking about the duplicate check and data quality search, that is business rules. When we are writing the derivations or the validations, few things will be covered over there. And whatever the things that are not covered, we'll be having a exclusive chapter for that one to understand much better on that scenarios, where which API, when to use, what is the purpose of that API. So it's purely this APIs in MDG, this purely technical kind of thing, technical concept, where we'll be looking into different classes and the methods, interfaces, and all those things. Okay, after that we'll be talking about the data replication framework. Okay, so data replication framework, we can't do the real-time replication as we will be having the only the practice server and the practice system. But what we can do in case of data replication framework is we can configure entire things in our system. We can configure entire ecosystem in our system, and we can see, of course it will be getting failed when we are trying to shoot it to the target system, because no system will be connected. But we can see how it is getting triggered, and all those things we'll be seeing on that thing. Consolidation and mass processing, this particular topic will be having the using file based approaches, how we are trying to create the mass creations and the mass changes to any of the master data. Data quality management, okay, this is a part of the business rules. Okay, so I had dedicated this DQM as a separate chapter, because there is lot more discuss apart from the validations or the derivations in the DQM. There are mining rules, how we will be like mining. Okay, there is machine learning capabilities, how we will be leveraging that, what are the new things provided by the SAP, what is the roadmap for this one. All those things we'll be discussing. And data cleansing, enrichment and remediation, so this is the ongoing activity kind of thing. Okay, what is a enrichment, cleansing, remediation process? If at all if we are having some duplicate records in our system, okay, what are the different techniques we need to follow for to cleanse that particular data? Testing, security, performance and troubleshooting. So troubleshooting, this particular point is there, right? The last one. Okay, this troubleshooting is a ongoing activity means whenever we are working on the data model extensions, extending a data model to the custom entity or custom attribute, we'll be getting some errors, right? So I will be in the call itself, in the session itself, whatever the errors we will be getting, we will be trying to rectify that errors, and we will be moving forward, because you need to know how we are trying to resolve those errors and go forward. That is also important. It's not like if I am demonstrating something, okay, Kumar is demonstrating something, it should be just next button and activated, kind of not like that. You will get it. Okay, I will make sure that we'll get errors also over there. So we will check on that process, how to rectify that. I know it will be little, sometimes it will be some time taking process, but it is good, because we get to know how many errors we'll get, like we'll be getting that much of stronger on the concept and everything. We will go, because in order to resolve that error, we'll be reading some blogs, we'll be going to some places. Okay, we'll be reading the supporting documents for this one. So that's an ongoing process and the activity kind of thing. And coming to the testing, security and performance, I can say security. So we don't need to do any of the security related things. Okay, we will not be access having the access, MDG consultants will not be having the access for the security related. But we need to know what are the capabilities a PFCG, the security rules, will be having, which we can leverage the some benefits sometimes. Okay, through security roles we can control the or data also. So we need to be in a situation to understand, okay, what is a PFCG role, what is the or data, what is the CR types we can control over the mechanism, which role to be assigned to which participant in the workflow. You must have like different levels of workflows, right? Different steps in the workflow. If at all if you are having some data steward or the data manager in the workflow, so data managers will be assigned with particular role. Okay, so they should be having that authorization for this one. So in order to security person to define that role for you, you should be in a situation to understand this little bit of concept and communicate that particular like requirement to the basis sorry security team, correct? So for that purpose, I will be taking one particular chapter over there to understand on the security. Okay, PFCG roles, what are the capabilities, what we can do, what can't we do, and all those things. And at the end, okay, using assistance of AI tools for ABAP programming. Okay, so whoever is not from the technical background, I know they will be facing little bit of hurdles, like in trying to learn or implement some coding logics and all those things. So how we can effectively utilize the ABAP, I mean sorry, AI tools. It can be chat GPT or any of the AI tools to leverage that functionalities. Okay, maybe most of the people might be knowing this one, but I want to have a separate kind of thing. It will be small topic only, but I want to have that effective description kind of thing. Okay, effective demonstration of that one. So this is all about the course curriculum. Okay, so do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? And one more thing, before going into the questions, I want to make one more point also clear. So the course will be going like this, okay? As was mentioning, like weekend. One moment, let me try sharing my screen. So please let me know if you are able to see my screen. Okay. So so course will be on weekend, that is Saturday and Sunday. From second day onwards, like I will be having the first 15 minutes for the doubt clarification or the clearing time kind of thing. If we are not having any doubts in that particular time, I will be just briefing on the topics what we had covered on the previous day. And as I mentioned, total course duration will be 55 plus hours. Okay, and I don't have any hard and fast rule that I should be closing in 55. If it is demanded, if it is required, I will be going till 65 hours also. I will not hesitate on that thing. Class recordings and materials, code snippets. Okay, if at all, if we are practicing some code, I mean some demonstrating, I will be demonstrating using some codes and all those things, right? So that all code snippets will be available in the Google Classroom, uploaded into the Google Classroom, based on the activity, based on the module wise and everything. Okay, so there will be some how to do documents, not only just how to do documents, some documents that are prepared by me, like, so basically, like if at all, if somebody new to the MDG, they should be knowing how to navigate, where to navigate in order to create some material supplier or the customer. They should be having that kind of touch and feel kind of thing to the system, right? So that kind of documents and manuals also will be provided. And quizzes, coming to the quizzes. Okay, so at the end of each topic or the module, we'll be having a quizzes pattern kind of thing. Okay, where we'll be providing the questions and answers kind of thing. Okay, so first we'll be providing the questions, and in the next day we'll be providing, after one day we'll be providing the answer sheets also for this one. Okay, so teaching pattern, it will be, as I mentioned, PPT, whiteboard, system demonstration, and lab assignments. Okay, and user manual based. So the whiteboard, mostly what I will be using is this one. Okay, Miro. If there is something like I will be using the different things also. Sometimes I will be going on a to explain something. Okay, I will be making utilize of this particular boards kind of thing. It's from the this contents from the previous things, but we don't need to focus much on that thing. But just to mention, I am saying that. Okay, quiz will be provided post session. And if at all, if somebody require the mock interviews, I'm just mentioning mock. Okay, so if somebody asks me, okay, on request basis, I will be arranging that mock interviews will be taken by me or somebody from my MDG expertise circle. And coming to the resume preparation also, I can guide you by the time we complete like 60% of the course contents. Okay, so you'll be in a situation getting a clarity to sit, even though you had never like faced interview, like full-fledged interview on SAP MDG or something. Okay, so you will be in a situation of facing the interview kind of thing. And if you need any guidance or something in the resume, I will be reviewing that and providing that inputs. And it's also like not completely on the like from in front of all the participants. It will be one-on-one kind of thing. Yeah, I'll be curating and providing that comments kind of. So this is all about the course curricula, the pattern, my teaching style. I gave some examples while I'm covering the TOCs. Okay, at a times I'm little bit in a fast pace, but that will not be happening when we are starting on the classes, because just in order to cover something, just I accelerate a little bit. But I will be going on a slow paces. If at all, if somebody is feeling it's fast, or I'm going too slow, definitely I will take that feedback and go forward. Do you have any questions? Like, I'm done from my end.
In
Shrishna
the
or Harish?
weekend,
Yeah. Yeah,
no?
please. Yeah, Harish.
only or evening.
Morning, only morning, 9 to 12.
Sir, going to morning 9 to 12.
Yes.
What will be the fee structure? Like,
Okay, sir will be talking on that one. Okay, he will be explaining on the fee structure, not an issue. But
mm,
yeah,
Actually, at the end of the course, like, do you provide any some like assistance from
uh,
walking, some